press conference will be, we'll have a standard format tonight. Coach Swinney will have some opening comments on tonight's game. Then we'll go to questions in the room. If time permits at the end, we'll go to questions virtually. So, Coach, when you're ready, take it away.
Well, just first of all, I want to thank our fans. I thought that it was just an amazing environment. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than a night game in the Valley. It was awesome, especially when we do our part as a team to help them. And just a special night. It was a great moment for our team. Saw a little bit of swagger from those guys, which was great to see. Just love the effort, love the toughness. I love their belief, and just their stick-to-itness. Just their resilience. I mean, it's just fun to see. And for those seniors, I tried to find all of them, as many as I could, right there before we got off the sideline. Just I'm just so thankful that God had some favor on them tonight to taste a victory in their last ever night game in the Valley. It was a blessing. It was just awesome, and I'm so happy for those guys. I mean, Blake Miller starting his 50th game. I mean, Tyler Venables, Cape Hart, 6-year guys, Walker Parks, Tristan, Big Rye, Adam Randall, Antonio, Cade. I mean, these guys are just warriors, man. And I'm just so happy for them to be able to taste that tonight and to be able to celebrate with them. And I know it hadn't been a great season record-wise, but, man, I don't care what the records are, it don't ever get old to beat the Noles. And it ain't ever easy to beat the Noles, ever. And, my 17 years as the head coach, it's pretty much been us or Florida State. I think Georgia Tech won it my first year, I think in 2009. We got beat in that game. And then Pitt won it a year. And I think outside of that, it's been Clemson and Florida State. So this is a huge game. And again, I don't care what the records are. And I'm just really proud of our team. That was the number one offense in the country coming in here. Really explosive. Really run the football. One of the top 10 rushing offenses, one of the best scoring offenses, scoring 40 points a game. And so I'm really proud of our defense. Season low 10 points, season low rushing for them, season low yards for them, and 6 sacks. We did a lot of good things. The 2 takeaways. We caught a couple breaks too, with some drop balls, which we were really fortunate on. But they just hung in there and they battled. They created we had Jack. I thought Jack Smith's been awesome all year, but he was awesome tonight. He had 3 inside the 20 and a 50-something yarder, but he had a shank, and he really hadn't done that. And the defense goes out there and gets a fumble recovery, and that's really what we haven't done, as much this year. And for Jeremiah to come up with it, Alexander had a fumble recovery and a sack tonight. So to take it away, and then. One of the best plays of the night was Corey and Gibson tracking the ball, finding the ball, PBU, and tipping it up in the air for Ricardo to get the interception. So I'm just really proud of how they competed. And then offensively, man, Cade's awesome. I mean, he's just a warrior. Dude is a competitor. It's back-to-back weeks. He's barely been able to practice. This week it was a quad. His ankle was fine, but he couldn't hardly walk all the way till Thursday. And each day I'd be like, he'd take very limited reps. I'd say, Cade, and he'd say, I'll be ready by Saturday. I'll be ready. And Thursday, I said, Cade. He's like, I'll be ready. And he's just unbelievably committed. He's tough as they come, and kid cares so much. And I'm just really proud of him. All those guys, those seniors are amazing. I mean, Antonio, Adam, Blake, Rye, Tristan, all them guys, Walker. I mean, they're just out there grinding and battling. What a great play by Antonio on the flea flicker. That was a heck of a finish on the ball. Great job by Cade to put it up there where he could go up and make a play on it. A couple big 4th downs. And then, I think another thing that some situational football with the way the game was late. You got to be smart, and you feel like you got control of the game and creating some field position, kind of putting them up against it. it worked out for us. So, yes, again, really happy, proud of the team. And if we can find a way to bottle that up, we could have a great finish. But, we're just going to enjoy this one tonight, and then we're right back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow we lose a day this week, so there's been a lot of kind of extra work this week to try to be ready when the team comes in tomorrow at 4. We'll staff obviously before that, but quick turnaround because we'll play Friday night against a good Louisville team. So, but we'll enjoy it for a few hours here and then show back up here ready to go tomorrow. But just proud of our team, and especially for those seniors, and again, really appreciate our fans and just the awesome environment it was.
Coach, fourth down conversion on that opening drive, the completion of Pat Henry, how important was it to get off to such a good start offensively, set the tone?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, offense set the tone, and I told them on Tuesday that when we scored, we were going to go up 2 scores because I felt like we had the 2-point conversion that we could get, and it should have been a walk. I got to watch it on tape. Somebody must have come off the double team because really just, I mean, it was there. So, did a great job. We booked the one guy, and Clay did a good job, and Nolan did a good job. But, that was big because they put us up 2 scores, and then it was 15, and now you're 3 scores in that situation. So then it was 18. So I thought they were kind of chasing that for a little while, but it just set the tone. I mean, the fourth down conversions, the 2-point there, just a really, great job. And then the stop on downs, and we had a couple stops on downs. Obviously the 2 takeaways really just kind of fed each other. And so just really happy for them. Just fun to see them celebrate. And again, if we can kind of bottle that up and play some complimentary football, we can have a good finish.
Was that something you guys saw on film with the 2-point?
Yep.
Was it just like wanting to set the tone even?
No, it was just there. Yeah, it was just there. Yeah, it was just something that we'd like, this is there, we might as well take it. So.
Did Cade get hurt against the Duke?
Yeah, on the corner cat that got us, hit him right in the thigh, and he could hardly walk, he was swollen up. So yeah, he really couldn't even practice much. He got just a little bit better each day, did nothing Monday, hardly anything Tuesday, a little bit on Wednesday, a little bit more on Thursday. But I mean, he's just a relentless competitor, and I'm just proud of his leadership. Kid plays with a lot of joy, plays with a lot of toughness, and he's taking care of the football. That's the other thing. It's back-to-back weeks we've taken care of the ball, and it was good to get some turnovers tonight, and again, good to get some sacks. Avion had 2 sacks with the corner blitzes. Sammy had a sack. Helt had a sack. Jeremiah, Kobe had a sack. A couple of those you get credited sack because he ran out of bounds or something. But just 6 sacks. That was it was big for us to be able to get that done. And then 6 of 18 on 3rd and 4th down was a good job.
Looked like there were a couple plays Cade could have had big plays with his legs if he was 100%, but like the throw to Bentoncourt in the end zone there. But yeah,
we'd like to have seen him run that, but yeah, it's a miracle that he was even out there running at all. But yeah, if he and I think he'll get better. I think it's one of those things getting better each day. So I'd say he might be a little sore tomorrow, but probably by Monday he'll be even better.
Coach, last 6 games, offense is averaging over 450 yards a game. Cade, 13 total touchdowns to just 2 turnovers in his last 5 games. I feel like the offense is hitting their stride at the right time of the season.
Yeah, that's kind of, again, what we envisioned coming into this thing, and just miscued on some stuff early on. But, yeah, they're really playing well. I mean, honestly, it played pretty good at Georgia Tech. We just had the 2 turnovers that were critical. Played pretty good, especially in the second half against Syracuse. Did some great stuff against SMU, even though Cade didn't play. So, I mean, we've been fairly productive, but I thought North Carolina, Boston College, we kind of hit a little rhythm. And, obviously the Duke game, we did a lot of good stuff in that game from an offensive standpoint. But, yeah, we just got to put it all together. put it all together, and tonight we did. You know, we got some stops, we got some turnovers, we had some nice special teams plays. I mean, how awesome for Flo, man. There's nobody that loves Clemson more than Florenzo. And for his last play ever in the Valley to be down in the ball on the 1 yard line, I mean, how cool was that for our snapper? That was awesome. Casperson, I mean, with some big operation snaps tonight for the 3 field goals by Nolan. You saw a lot of contributions from all those seniors.
Don't forget about Clay Swinney.
Yeah, big Clay. I mean, it was huge. Yeah, Clay did his job. Clay's just steady, man. You know, you don't notice him, and that's a good thing. You know, he just does his job.
Dabo, your defense, I imagine this week, you and the defensive coaches challenged those guys to really be stronger than you showed the last couple of games. You must have been very pleased at how they
Yeah.
worked and how they accepted that challenge.
Yeah, and especially against the run, because these guys are I mean, that's what they do. And so obviously the sacks help, but we put some pressure on them. They popped a couple of them on us, but they just showed up with the right mentality. And there's still some things we got to clean up. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on you, especially when you're in your 3 deep concepts and they're running wheel routes with double posts and they're draining you. So there's some things that were on tape that we're going to have to get better at. We turned a wheel route loose with the backer one time, just kind of got our eyes caught up. But, you know, but hey, we didn't have many breaks this year, so we got a few, but we created some too. And I'm really proud of the defense. They showed up with the right mentality, and that quarterback is a nightmare. I mean, he is a good football player. He's tough, and we almost got him a couple other times. But I was just really proud of how they competed up front. I thought Wade made some big plays. We put him behind the chains a lot. And, you know, just – you know, another tough call on 4th down on the same end of the field there. But I'm out of money, so I can't complain about it. So I got termites in my pockets.
Maybe they were mad that you sent them 10,000 pennies.
Yeah.
You had just one penalty aside from that inexplicable PI call, so you have to be pleased with that.
Yeah. Is that it? I thought it was another one.
There's 2 penalties.
Two.
Unnecessary roughness, yeah.
Yeah, that one. We'll have to look at that one too. That was tough. I mean, that was a tough one. Because, I mean, he's running, chasing him from behind, and he, you know, he doesn't know he's sliding. He's just trying to get him down. And that was kind of a tough one. I had to see that one on tape. But just proud of the resilience. I mean, these guys, again, they just, I mean, again, our record isn't what we hoped it would be right now, but to see these guys fighting the way they fight, that's all you need to know about what's under the hood with all these guys. They're made of the right stuff, and that's going to serve them well, you know, forever. And a lot of these guys are going to go on and play pro ball. Man, I mean, if I'm a scout, I'm watching. You know, I think coming into this week, 14 of the 32 teams in the NFL are 3-5 or worse, almost half the league. And so, if I'm a scout, I'm watching all these teams. I'm watching teams that maybe haven't had a year. Like, how do you respond? How do you play when maybe it hadn't gone the way you want to? And, man, you turn on the tape and watch Blake Miller and Antonio Williams and Adam Randall and Tristan Lee and Walker and Rye and Wade Woodaz and all these guys. Man, them guys, Capehart, these guys they're playing their butts off. They're competing their tails off. So I'm proud of them. Again, that's who they are.
Did you get an explanation for the Khalil Barnes interception at the end of the first half? Why they?
Yeah, he's got to get his. Yeah, he got his toe in, but where it was, he's got to get the heel down. It's a toe heel call, so that's what it was.
Coach, you mentioned Blake Miller starting his 50th consecutive career game today. What does it mean to you to hear him hit that milestone?
Yeah, it's amazing. He actually gave a speech. You know, Blake don't say a whole lot, but Blake gave a speech in the locker room. It was awesome. I mean, there's a reason why that's never been done by a non-specialist. I mean, 50 straight games at an offensive line. First of all, you got to be really, really special to start as a freshman in the offensive line, your first game, and then you got to be able to stay available. And that guy's amazing. He's going to be a great pro. He ain't going to wait long to hear his name called, and somebody's going to get a special player right there. He's just you know, one of the most committed guys, and he's the same guy. He is the same guy that showed. I mean, he's never changed. He loves Clemson. He loves his teammates. He loves to practice. He loves to train. He loves to play football. He loves all of it. It's just amazing how he takes care of himself. So really happy for him, and it was a special moment in the locker room with him.
You mentioned the sack and the turnover for Jeremiah. Just what do you continue to see out of him as the season's progressed?
Well, he's gaining confidence. You know, everybody knows that Jeremiah was a highly recruited guy coming out of high school, but he was an edge guy, and but he was an edge guy in a linebacker body, and he needed to make a move, and so at Alabama he made the move and started building some fundamentals and foundation playing line, but he really didn't play hardly, and then he got hurt, so he really didn't. He just hadn't had much game experience at backer, and then he comes here, so learning kind of the terminology and the system and all that, and just getting to where he's not out there thinking, and he's just gotten better and better and better and better because now his attributes are starting to shine, because he's not playing hesitant, because he can run, he's physical, he's a violent player, so I think he's just going to keep going. He's got another year and he needs it, but I'm really proud of him because he's one of the best kids I've ever met and been around, and I'm just proud of his progression. Ben's done a great job with him, but there's more there. There's more there, but you're starting to see, some of the fruits of his work that he's put in.
Coach, you mentioned the atmosphere tonight. Cade mentioned earlier in his presser, it's the most electric Tiger Walk he's seen in a long time in his 4 years here, and being Hall of Fame night. Former players Chester McLaughlin, DeAndre Hopkins, and of course the great Tim Beret getting inducted. And finally, you can finally say this was complimentary football. What's your thoughts on just the game as a whole and just moving forward with the environment, the atmosphere that the Clemson fan show was like a game from the early 2000s when you first arrived?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Tim Beret told me that there was no way we were losing on the same day he was going in the Hall of Fame. So I knew felt pretty good. Tim don't talk a lot of trash, but he's like the babe. He called his shot. So felt pretty good about that, and I'm happy for Chester and his family, and just him being honored the way he was, and certainly Nuke. Happy for all them, but it was awesome. Yeah, and Tiger Walk was amazing. I mean, our fans were, just all. But that's who Clemson is. I mean, Clemson. That's Clemson people. They love the Tigers, and they hang in there. So. It was. I'm just thankful that our players got to experience that. Especially one more night game for these seniors. It was really cool. And again, happy for our fans. They did an awesome job. And all the event people and all the stuff who do all the lights and all that stuff. I mean, it was rocking when we got off the bus to come to the Rock. I mean, there was just so much, juice in that stadium. And I mean, I couldn't see my. It was so dark at the end of the game. I was trying to see how much time was going to be left on the clock. I was trying to milk the clock right there at the end. I couldn't read my dang card because it was so dark in there. We had a light show going on, but it was awesome. It was great. And again, just happy for our fans. And like I said, Clemson, Florida State. I mean, I've been a part. I mean, since '03, I've been a part of them, and they ain't never easy. And that was a really dangerous football team that we just beat, and we found a way to get it done. I got a lot of respect for Mike and his staff, and they are. That's not a team you get excited about playing when you watch them on tape. So thankful we were able to find a way to get it done, and again, thankful for the environment. And as I said, if we can just kind of bottle that up, that complimentary football, those takeaways, winning that turnover margin, we can have a great finish, and that's all we can focus on. So again, it ain't gonna be easier. Louisville's a really good football team. Beat us last year, going up there on Friday night. That won't be easy. Short week, but we'll reload, reset, and we're gonna go give everything we got.
I like seeing Coach V wearing the paw again on the sideline tonight.
Yeah, I looked up and I was like, "There's Brent." I gave him a sideline pass. Yeah, I went over and I said, "What do you think they're gonna call right here on 2nd and 14?" He's like, "Probably a screen or draw." It's probably a screener draw, you know. So I love Brent. I had Skowski, you know. Skowski was in my team meeting yesterday, and he's on Brent's staff, and so it was great for just to see those guys. And man, I love Brent, and it was awesome for him to be dad and to be able to see T-Bone, you know, block the punt last week. Tyler's just, you talk about one of the best leaders that we've had here, freaking Tyler Venables. This kid loves Clemson. He loves this team. He loves everything about Clemson. And, you know, he's pretty much grown up here. And, you know, for Brent to be able to get back, and Julie, for them to be able to get back and just, you know, be a part of that, it was awesome. And, you know, so, you know, it was good mojo. It was good mojo. We had some good mojo down there. So it was great to see him and pulling for those guys for a strong finish.
You were talking about how it was rocking when they started playing We Will Rock You. Did that remind you of 2009, DeAndre McDaniel intercepting Ponder?
Yeah, it was that the first time they did that? I heard it coming around when we were getting off the bus. I mean, it was just, you know, it was awesome. I mean, it was like I said, there's nothing better than a night game in the Valley. There isn't. And especially, like I said, when we do our part and we came out and offensively set the tone, you know, right out of the gate. And then defensively, we go out there and we stop them. And, you know, just thought there was a couple. I wish we could have maybe finished on another touchdown or two instead of the field goal. But they're good. They're good. They're a good team, and they got a unique scheme. They're a little bit of, you know, kind of a combination of kind of two schemes. So coaches did a nice job. How about Braden Jacobs out there? You know, again, as a true freshman out there, just battling and getting better. Peter Woods, another big fourth down. You know, probably need to list him as athlete on the roster now. Just a lot of good things in the game, and again, to see him be rewarded for it was awesome. Especially coming off such a just gut wrencher last week, and to pick themselves up, get back to work. Man, just the fortitude that you have to do that. That's one of the things I told them. You know, I mean, it's hard to get out of bed. You know, when you have a game like that, you can't even really describe the feeling. But as I told them, I would rather know that feeling of just absolute heartbreak and anguish than to never be in this arena. And so, you know, you pick yourself up and you go again. That's what sports teaches. That's what football teaches you. You don't always win. You get back up and you go. And, you know, God's good all the time. It doesn't matter. We hold the trophy or you have a last play loss, and you still got the same decision to make the next day. And that is, you know, get up and go fight again. And these guys have done that. And I'm just really proud of them. And, you know, we just got to find a way to just have the best finish that we can have. And the opportunity's there, but we're going to go play well this week.
You mentioned the great PBU by Gibson. Does a play like that just do wonders for the confidence of a young corner?
Yes, and I mean he's a kid. You know, like I said, he was pretty much not really available last year, coming off the ACL, and just kind of got him into practice mode. But as a redshirt freshman this year, I mean, he's a kid that we just really need. We needed him to find his confidence a little bit, and he's just getting better and better. He's playing some nickel for us, and that absolutely, because he can run, and he's a competitive kid. But to be downfield, and that's an area we got to keep getting better, because sometimes these balls are getting down the field, and we're not tracking the ball, we're not finding the ball always. Sometimes that's why we've had some of these PIs, because we don't get our eyes around, and we've worked hard on that. But for him to, I mean, that's why. I mean, he did. It was a textbook play from a technique standpoint, and for him to get his hand on it, and Ricardo's where he needs to be. Now Ricardo needs to get down. He needs to get all the yards he can, you know, get his yak up, as we like to say, but don't ever take a hit, right? Like, the only way you could lose the game at that point is to get tackled and fumble the ball or something. So get all you can, but then let's just get down. Let's don't get hit. So a lot we can coach off of that, but I thought that was a great play by Gibb, and it absolutely can do wonders for his confidence as he, keeps moving in his career. How about Strozier? Strozier's another guy that, those two guys have just been coming for us, and I'm really, really proud of them. Ashton made a great play down in the end zone on 0. A really, really good play. His length, and getting his hand in there and being able to get that ball out was a great football play. And the one touchdown, Khalil did an awesome job collisioning the guy and knocked him out of the bounds. And it was almost like Khalil thought, well, he's almost into the goalpost, so it's kind of over, but not with that quarterback. You got to, that guy literally was almost into the goalpost, came back into play. So you've got to cover him forever until the whistle blows. He kind of let his guard down and thinking, oh, well, he's out of the play. But one scrambled around and bought some time and ended up getting the touchdown.
You saw the guys walk to the Tiger ball before the game, straight from Tiger walk to the middle of the field, and they kind of linked arms and prayed. I guess, do you know anything about where that came about? Or?
Yeah, the players, I think they just wanted to, this team, that's one of the positives that I think has come from this season is, these guys have grown stronger in their faith because their faith's been challenged, and it's been pretty cool to see. I think a lot of these guys have really leaned on their faith, and I think some of the guys on the team that are really strong in their faith have really had opportunity to pour into some of these other guys, and certainly for me too. This has been a challenging time, but again, I've lived a lot of life. I talked about it, last week. Everything bad in my life, something good has come from it. So that's why it's easy for me to keep the faith, because I've just lived enough life, and I've had enough challenges in life that has taught me that, hey, you know what, this is just got to hang in there. But these are young people, and so I think that's one of the blessings from this season is a lot of these guys have really, really grown closer to God, and I think they've grown in their faith. And Vad Lee, y'all may remember Vad Lee. He actually did chapel for us today, and I just thought he did a fantastic job. He was a former quarterback at Georgia Tech and also at James Madison, if you remember Vad. He's written a book, and I just thought he did an awesome job pouring into our guys today at chapel. But, yeah, I just think that, they've talked a lot about playing for an audience of one. And I think some of the guys got together and just, really wanted to go pray over the field and just pray over each other.
Coach, you mentioned what a great rivalry this is between Clemson and Florida State. Y'all now won 9 of the last 10. Your first one was 22 years ago.
We've won 9 of the last 10? We've won 9 of the last 10?
Yes, sir. And that 03 one, your first.
Hey, I'm looking for any good news I can find, boys. I'm looking for anything good I can find.
Your first one, as you mentioned, in 2003, was on this date 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same score. You talk about just the history of these two teams, how much they've kind of pretty much run the conference, and what does a night like tonight mean as the rivalry goes forward and as this team goes forward?
Yeah, again, it never gets old. I've been on both sides of it. I guess it was a couple years ago when they were here, we led the whole game, the entire game. We're going to put it down and put it away and get a sack, fumble, not just a fumble, but a scoop, score, in overtime, just kind of a crazy day. But I've been in a bunch of battles with these guys, and I've always had a lot of respect for Florida State. They're a great program. They're a proud program, just like we are, and they're a championship program. And again, my 17 years, we've won it 9 times, played for it 10, but outside of that, it's been Florida State. It's been Clemson, Florida State, Pitt, Georgia Tech the one year. So, this game is always, big. And again, wasn't much national implications on it tonight, but it's Clemson, Florida State, and they're a talented team. And then I just, Bobby Bowden is one of my heroes and was one of my great mentors in life. So, you know, I've always had a lot of respect for Florida State and because of what he built there and, you know, how he led and how he impacted lives through his platform of coaching. And I've just never, ever forgot that. So I love competing against him. It's never easy. And just thankful to get the win tonight.
Coach, a couple more for Coach.
Coach, Nick Saban shared on College Game Day that you guys had a conversation this week. What were some of the topics that came up, and then what is it like to have a relationship with him now that there's no more rivalry there?
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. I mean, we just kind of went back and forth a little bit. Biggest thing is just like, listen, you know, if you coach long enough, he said, and you've coached long enough, sooner or later, you will have a season like this. And he said, but there's opportunity in every situation, and I know you'll take advantage of this opportunity. And just wish me well. I mean, he was great, just very supportive, and you know, so he said, let me know if you need anything, and I said, can you come play corner for me this week? We you know, but he is great. I mean, I really appreciate him. He's got a great perspective. He's coached a long. I mean, he's 74. This guy's coached a long time, and obviously we've had some battles, and always great respect for him. But I really appreciated that. I really appreciated just his reaching out and his support.
8 different players for the reception in this one. What does that say about the depth of the receiving core, and what do you like about their play tonight?
Yeah, I think the receivers have been a real bright spot all year. They really have. I mean, these guys have and we thought they would be. Obviously, Wesco's out right now, but, man, Tristan has really stepped up. Cole had a nice play out there. TB didn't really have much opportunity. He's just kind of, you know, he's kind of waiting on Antonio to graduate. But there'll be a lot of great days for Tyler Brown, I promise you. But, man, we just, you know, we're not going to have zero much longer, so we're trying to ride him as long as we can. And, I mean, TJ I mean, they're just all making plays. I mean, we really love our skill at receiver and tight end and at back. So, you know, just happy that those guys have had the season that they've had. Grish has done an awesome job with them, and, you know, more to come. You know, hopefully we can get Tristan Smith's year back. That would be huge. You know, hopefully that'll go our way. He certainly deserves it with other precedents that have been out there. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out. And I'm also, you know, another thing I'm really thankful for is that CV has a lot of confidence. I mean, CV's practicing well. I mean, he really has been. You know, whoever asked me the question about Gibson earlier, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You know, now you've got a guy that's gone out and thrown for 300-something yards and is battle-tested a little bit, and you see his confidence, you know, and his readiness really go up.
Take one final one for Coach. Anybody has one?
Coach, how have you maintained focus and motivation throughout this challenging season?
I just show up and do the work. You know, I just stay connected to the good Lord. You know, I mean, that phone you got right there, I guarantee you, you're going to make sure it's plugged in at night, right? We probably all are. I guarantee you none of y'all going to let them phones, wherever, you're going to have a charger when you go somewhere. Every one of y'all, like, y'all going to have a charger. No way you're not going to have your charger for that laptop or your phone, right? Well, you know, it's the same way for us as people. You know, our batteries get low if we don't plug in to the good Lord. You know, and that's the only way I can answer your question. I just try to plug in, and that's how. That's the only way. Just keep my eyes on the good Lord. Continue to believe. Don't quit. Just keep showing up. Just keep doing the work. I know what's real and I know what's not. Focus on the things that I control. And just, for me, love of the game and love of my players. Just love of the game, love of my players. And just try to keep my joy. That's really what I focus on. And stay away from all the craziness and negativity and noise. Stay connected. You know, God shouldn't be he shouldn't be a resource in our life. He should be the source. And so I just make sure I get plugged in. Just make sure I stay connected and keep my battery charged up, just like we do those phones right there. So that I, and a dead battery can't charge a dead battery, So I make sure that I keep the right people in my life and in my circle that charge me up. And then if I can keep my battery charged, then I can help these young men and the people that I serve at work.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, appreciate it.